This is one of the most complex and debated movie endings in cinematic history. 2001: A Space Odyssey is another one of Stanley Kubrick's brilliantly confusing masterpieces. And if you've seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, then you know it's one of the most mind-bending movies in cinematic history. There's an ever-present black monolith, astronauts, space travel, time travel, a space baby, and of course Hal, the supercomputer that throws the entire mission into absolute chaos.
Dave, stop. Stop.
And all of this adds up to a man in a weird room looking at an older version of himself while he himself begins to age right in front of us. So what does it all mean? Well, we actually got the answers from Stanley Kubrick himself during a phone conversation that I'm not 100% sure he knew was being recorded.
I've tried to avoid doing this ever since the picture came out because when you just say the ideas, they sound foolish, whereas if they're dramatized, one feels it, but I'll try. The idea was supposed to be that he is taken in by godlike entities, creatures of pure energy and intelligence with no shape or form. They put him in what I suppose you could describe as a human zoo to study him, and his whole life passes from that point on in that room, and he has no sense of time. They choose this room, which is a very inaccurate replica of French architecture, deliberately so inaccurate, because, one was suggesting that they weren't quite sure, just as we aren't quite sure what to do in zoos, try to give them what we think is their natural, environment. Anyway, when they get finished with him, he is transformed into some kind of super being and sent back to Earth, and we have to only guess what happens when he goes back.
Leave it to Stanley Kubrick to explain a scene so complicated simply enough that some of us could actually get some understanding out of it. But now we need to address the elephant in the room. Just what the hell was the monolith? Well, my personal interpretation of the monolith is this. What exactly are you holding in your hand right now?